See, Turek, your mind, it is like a gun. And you want to load it up with little itty bitty bullets of knowledge.
What's going on, family? It's your guy Boro, the Lucky Libra, and thank you for tuning into another episode. Alright, we're getting into the BOROSCOPE energies to understand what's going on in our astrological forecast for the week. Okay, so first what we want to do is see where the energies that we're dealing with are at right now. Okay, and then we want to get into understanding how these energies are going to progress throughout the week, day by day. So first, this is for the week of January 24th through the 30th. Do we have any major events this week? Yes, we do. We have a full moon in Leo. Okay, we know full moons are very important phases throughout a season because this is a time where we get to release. This is a time we get to see what's not fitting, what's adding on, what's what we have to detach from, release from, as far as the things that we're working on, what we're aspiring to do. Okay, a time to clear your space. All right, in all type of shapes and forms, whether it's through your relationships, whether it's certain issues within a family home environment. Specifically, we're going to see what area of life you may need to release, detach, and clear your space to help your spiritual journey out when we see what houses this moon is going to be transiting for the full moon in Leo. So I'm going to be getting into that later during the week when that energy get there. But we never want to be jumping too far ahead of ourselves when we're dealing with energies today and tomorrow. Okay, so we want to understand what's in store, but we always want to make sure we understand that there's influences we got to take care of today and tomorrow in the morning. Like, life is day by day. You can't be in next week getting ready for a full moon in Leo when there's work to do this week getting to that full moon in Leo. All right, so that is the major event we got going on this week. So let's get into the energies we're experiencing right now. So we have the sun in Aquarius. We got the sun in Aquarius, moon in Gemini, Mercury in Aquarius, Venus in Cap, Mars in Taurus. All right, we should already know where our generational planets are at. Why? Because they don't move that quick. So we have Jupiter in Aquarius. All right, we got Saturn in Aquarius, Pluto in Capricorn, Uranus in Taurus, Neptune in Pisces. So when we look at our sun through Mars, sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, all these energies is in air and earth signs right now. Okay, even though the moon is getting ready to move into Cancer tomorrow, we're dealing with heavy logic. We're dealing with heavy strategizing. All right, a lot of earthy, practical energy. We're attracting and manifesting a lot of situations in our life right now to make us understand how we got to get as realistic as possible about how we communicate, relate to others, deal with relationships, look at career, look at what we want to personally express to the world, what we want to cultivate for 2021. Like, this is one of the most, with all these air influences, but especially, you know, Earth and Saturn like influences, with energies being in Cap but also being in Aquarius. Like, this is not a time to bullshit yourself, family, with the things y'all want to do. All right, this is definitely a time to push that out. It's an air season. We want to be in a state of relatability. Now, as Aquarius airs, some cold ass air. I don't know where y'all at, family, but I'm in New York. So, shit, we feel Aquarius season over here. We feel that shit over here right now. Shit. So, for the most part, we gotta align with that cold temperament. And when we say cold, it's more so being, you know, more direct, sharp with how we're executing our ideas and thoughts. And being wise about how we choose to relate them and associate them right now. Okay? So, the moon in Gemini, you know, the moon always motivates the sun. So we're reacting and responding to our relationships in a very curious way, in trying to pick the minds of others in our familiar relationships, the people in our familiar surroundings with the moon in Gemini. Every time the moon is transiting air sign, we're gonna feel like communicating and exchanging thoughts and ideas. So you may have heavily been in that energy over the weekend with this double air. All right, we still got Mercury in Aquarius. It's in its shadow period, getting ready to go into a retrograde phase on the 30th, I believe, family. So we're gonna get into that in the next BOROSCOPE energies. We're definitely gonna be going over understanding how Mercury transiting your houses is going to affect you when it goes retrograde, And but right now, the fact that it's still in Aquarius, this is why the mind has been heavy on these things at the same time. Not only is the sun influencing us to pay attention to our relationships in a realistic way, and how we can connect ourselves to others in order to build what we're building, build a new reality, build new groupings and associations, build new people, new resources to connect to. But for the most part, with Mercury in Aquarius, we've been trying to dissect these things mentally. Okay, the sun is already influence energy, but Mercury just being in the constellation is definitely following up with all type of strategies and ideas to help the sun take action on certain things. So we may be in a state of overthinking these things, but also be in a state where we're heavily stimulated right now with a bunch of ideas of things we could do, but we want to be action oriented. Not only is the sun in Aquarius influencing us to push that energy out, sun is debilitated in Aquarius, so don't necessarily like to be in this energy, okay? Because Aquarius is, y'all do a lot of that strategizing. Y'all real realistic, y'all real reserved, and others understand that y'all not about to just quote unquote entertain anything, but for the most part being more action oriented with these strategical ass ideas, which are abstract ass way of thinking. Aquarius is gonna help you to understand that your ideas work. When you're thinking about them and you're brainstorming and you just seeing how easy it is for everybody else, why you feel Aquarius is be feeling like it should be easy for other people to develop these type of ideas about how to get from point A to B or deal with their relationships. Or not everybody think like you, Aquarius, so you need to take that sun and put some action towards them ideas. All right, now so this is the energies we're dealing with between the sun and moon, Mercury and Aquarius, Venus and Cap. You know, Venus and Cap right now, we real cold about our, like, we cold. Everything is cold and earthy right now. We real cold about how we relate in our emotions, dealing with relationships. Like, people right now not even putting in a lot of time. Like, people that were emotionally invested into certain relationships right now, like, people is not caring right now. People looking at the substance of their relationships. People are finding situations in their relationships right now where they're trying to see if they could lean on somebody, and they just now realizing for the first time they can't really lean on this person. This person not stable enough when you ain't got it all together. This is what people seeing right now in Venus and Capricorn, because Venus, this is what she's trying to appreciate, support, and seek pleasures in, connect to. All right, she's trying to connect to some form of resource, to some form of stability, to some organization. All right, so this is the influence with our relationships and how we deal with our value system. We're also looking at the value in ourselves, seeing what's realistic about the value we feel like we can offer to the world right now. So we don't want to, critique ourselves to death where, we're just fucking up our emotional well-being, but we do want to be realistic about understanding that we all did bring certain values here that we can plant seeds in for a foundation in order to build stability, in order to build more resources, in order to connect to others in your industry, in your career, in your company, in your work field. This is what Venus is trying to get us to understand. How are we playing as a support system to, catering to our own values in a realistic way, okay? But that's like the influence that it could play out in relationships right now. Venus is in Capricorn. They don't play that. In relationships, you think you're going to just sweet talk them. You could sweet talk the ish out of them. You could sweet talk them, razzle dazzle them. The sex could be good too. The sex could be great. It could be the best sex that they ever had with you. But when it comes to them value and stability in their relationship, having Venus and Capricorn there, if there ain't no sense of that, if you don't look like you could take 3/4 of the bills on a bad month, if it don't look like you could hold yourself down when I'm not around, if it don't look like you value any sense of organization even when I'm not around, like Venus and Cap, they start feeling like they gotta play too much of a crutch out for you in a relationship now. It's like, alright, I'm good. I'm good. So Venus and Earth signs gotta be careful that y'all just don't get into relationships and marry people just for stability and end up being all distraught in your emotional well-being because you value that so much. So y'all gotta be careful of that as well. God damn, Kanye West. I don't know what he was thinking, feeling when the day he made this instrumental. Sheesh. That man is God on them keys. So, getting back into the energies, important. Oh yeah, we also have Mars and Taurus right now. So with a little Mars and Taurus update, yeah, there's been some anger and frustration dealing with some things you've been trying to work on. Yeah, there's been situations that you may not have been able to get your hand on some money that's yours right now. A lot of us may be dealing with a lot of, and this is something that I said in my Jupiter Saturn conjunction, great conjunction video in Aquarius. I said, family, watch the security start getting way more strict, dealing with motherfucking checkout systems, payment methods, you know, getting shit cleared, getting your credit cleared to buy a house, buy a car. Like, all that shit is funny money right now. All that shit is extra processes for that shit. To do simple shit, to pay your motherfucking phone bill, you gotta do some extra shit right now. So Mars and Taurus is definitely and I won't even say that's just Mars and Taurus energy. This is an accumulation of some influences that we're dealing with right now. However, when we look at Mars and Taurus, yeah, family, be patient right now. I keep emphasizing that every week. We gotta be patient in everything we're working on right now. Because we got stupid motivation to build and work and structure and plant new seeds and cater to the things we value and certain ideas we've been putting on the back burner and all that. Like, a lot of us is so invested into really charging that up, giving that some vitality, putting a battery in that shit. But with Mars being that impatient and that much of a go-getter, that should be throwing Taurus off sometimes. Like, Mars, sit your ass down. You already put the egg in the pot. Let the motherfucker boil. Keep checking the motherfucker, seeing if it's hot yet. You the first egg you boiled, you opened it way too early. It wasn't even cooked right. I told you, sit down 10 more minutes. You know I'm a Taurus. You know I'm gonna give you the real on how to prepare some food. You're not listening to me to the advice I'm giving you about how to prepare your food, how to season your food, how long for it to be in the oven. Calm your ass down, Mars. I love all that passion you got. I love all that passion you got to be a determined chef. But take it from the food guru. Take it from the master of the 5 senses in the physical realm. All right? I'm gonna help you feel more secure if you learn to value and put more time into your passions. And this is what everybody's learning right now. So yeah, some of these frustrations is good frustrations, because you're understanding that what you're passionate about needs more time than you thought it was. What you're passionate about is not overnight. And we're here to value shit not being overnight right now. We in a shift right now, family. We in a shift right now. You're manifesting all type of downloads and influences for you to understand that it's time to come into your power. It's time not to slack on them subconscious influences and gut instincts you've been had for years about doing this, that, and the third. This is the time to take your power. Motherfuckers that rule this world and families, they don't know what the fuck they do, right? They beefing, coronavirus shit going left and right. Is everything retarded? Is shit up in the air right now. It's time for you to take your power for your reality right now, family. Alright? The same people that run this world is trying to use these energies to keep you guys and us, you know, all in these situations and indoctrinated and away from our gifts. Now, we have some heavy spiritual energies in the air right now where your gifts and your guides and all that is tapping you on your shoulder like, yeah, it's time. Like push that art out. Start teaching that wisdom you got. Start that business, start helping people structure shit. Alright? Get that LLC popping. Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius. It's a new time, family. Alright? So not only are we experiencing all these energies, you know, from the sun down to Mars, with me bringing up Jupiter and Aquarius, the sun is Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, the sun is conjunct Jupiter and Saturn right now. Alright? Yes, so for today and these next couple of days, or we've been feeling this already. I mentioned this in the last week of Boroscope energies, but we've already been feeling this influence the past couple of days. Like, okay, all right, time to take more action on these ideas. All right, we've been seeing more opportunities on social media. We've been talking to people. We've been gaining more of an awareness on how to take this Jupiter, Saturn, Aquarius energy and make it and get it in motion, aka taking your wisdom and making it reality. Taking your aspirations, your beliefs, and putting it into a container. the sun is here now. So when the sun comes into contact with anything, it's gonna give it light, it's gonna give it awareness, attention, and it's gonna help you to well, Jupiter is dealing with expansion, but the reason why I went like this, because the sun is gonna give you an awareness with me talking about the light and the attention. You're gonna gain awareness about these things. So if there's an energy you've been struggling with in your life and the sun just happens to transit that house and them planets that may have been creating certain energies there, you're going to gain an awareness about what's going on in that area. Alright? So whatever sun y'all got Aquarius transiting right now, y'all need to understand that, you know, you learning things right now. You're seeing things you ain't see before about who you've been associating yourself with, how you've been putting yourself out into the world. Alright? To connect and associate yourself with others that's into what you're into, but you don't know them. Like, how are you setting up ways to do that and connect with others, dealing with different forms of communication? So, Jupiter and Saturn was influencing that on its goddamn own. Now, with the sun is conjunct here for us to start the week, these influences in positive and negative ways, whether it's opportunities you see, new information, Aquarius information, new information that you're getting about how you can work or go. Listen, family, I'm around certain people. Like I'm an astrologist, so I'm around certain people and I could see the influences happening to them. I could see, you know, certain people that I know, and then another friend of mine, another mutual friend is giving this friend the advice they need to hear about their aspiration, about something that they already know, helping them trying to cultivate it, make it realistic, taking a gift, a trait, a talent, or something like that, and making it more realistic, something they could work on or start to work on. And it's going over some people's heads. So Soul Tribe, Soul Fam, we not doing that. We not doing that in 2021. We's not doing that. Because that's what's going to make the Saturn reality energy more harsh. This is what's going to make what's going on outside in the motherfucking world see more, you know, in your ways for the things that you want to do. People are starting to use COVID and coronavirus as restrictions to their dreams and passions. I'm like, alright, y'all go ahead and use that as an excuse if you want. Because if that's going to be in your excuse to starting something, good luck in 2021. Because 2020 might have been a warm-up with all that stupid shit. Vaccine or not. But anyways. So, we're dealing with that Sun conjunction Jupiter and Saturn energy. Taking more action on the awareness that we're gaining about, you know, what wisdom we have. What we can enlighten others on. Alright? What we've been possessed, what Saturn did with resources as well, what resources we've been had that we could connect with others to help start building a new house, a new tool, a new foundation. Like, look at what you have right now, family. All right. Now we also have Sun square Uranus, Sun square Mars. All right, we got Uranus and Mars in Taurus. So with Mars coming in contact with Uranus and Taurus, it's adding more passion to the authority we trying to gain within our career, within, you know, the things that we value. All right, is Taurus dealing with, you know, our forms of security. And with Uranus being in there, that's being transformed and shaken up and making us have to learn to be more individuals with our forms of security. So with these energies with reality, like these shit's been influenced before 2020, coming into 2020. Alright? So we in the midst of some energies right now when we talk about reality, foundation, stability, career. We in the midst of it, of making this happen right now for yourself. So yeah, so with Uranus already being in Taurus with that type of energy, Mars coming in there, Mars is just going to add more willpower, more motivation to anything it's coming in contact with. So this is why I said, you know, even with Mars and Taurus, when I was talking about Mars and Taurus, how we dealing with this anger and frustration, trying to get things popping, trying to make things happen. Taurus trying to make sure Mars is doing things in a settled manner. It don't get that mission don't get easier once Mars and Uranus get together. These two energies that influence transformation. These are two energies that dealing with individuality. So yes, we can be stuck in our ways right now with all the passion we have about how we want to set intentions on things. Remain a student in all times, regardless of what transits we going on. But some Jupiter and Saturn energy gonna let your ass, gonna influence you from time to time. Every time in 2021, your ass ain't a student. You gonna get the smack in the hand, because Jupiter's like, no, we not doing this. We not doing this. You got some wisdom and knowledge right now, and I'm next to Saturn's ass, and we forced to use it. Saturn want to find tools to use, so it's next to me, and we made this shift. So all I got is wisdom. All I got is knowledge. All right. So can we make sure we're stabilizing what we know? This year's it's like a lot of us, we all have different phases, alignments we going through, life path years and all that. But for the most part, you know, with the energies that's hovering for the year, a lot of it is gonna be a little no nonsense, like not getting that many chances for certain mistakes for things that you know this year. There's not gonna be that much slack for that, esoterically, spiritually speaking. Now, we have, so this is what we dealing with the sun squaring them energies. You know, the sun is in Aquarius. The sun is trying to get that individuality and that passion, you know, expressed and connected into some form of communication, networking, being in Aquarius. So everything, we may get opportunities for these new seeds we've been planting in our passions, or the things that we've been trying to do to gain some individuality within career or forms of stability and security. With Uranus and Taurus, is like we may run into some opportunities that's going to seem as a clash, but may just be something that we have to learn at the moment to understand how we could take action on them things, them energies in Uranus. The sun is helping us see, but is a square, so we have to learn to see how to deal with it right now. So situations, people, places, and things in your life that's giving you an influence or making you feel or think about a certain idea, where how you could tweak something that is dealing with that Mars and Uranus and Taurus energy, aka something that you value, all right, and you feeling real individual and passionate about making sure you're cultivating the garden for that. You're working on it. You've done planted seeds in it, and it's taking time for it to grow. These are the same things that you have an individual intent about. Is how you personally see about these things. All right. All of that energy, we got to learn to be a student to any influences that's helping us learn how to deal with them things. People coming in your life right now trying to help you see son, a new way to work on something. Just be an active listener right now, family. I'm seeing a lot of people not being active listeners. All right, it's gonna hurt you in the long run. Now we have so those energies, you know, important aspects we're experiencing right now with the sun. Now we got the moon conjunct the north node in Gemini. All right, so we're having a more philosophical reflection on things dealing with our relationships, especially reflecting on how we be communicating to others. Whether right now is like we're downloading influences to understand how our forms of communication may have been certain things that's been holding us back in business and our relationships. So if you've been in that state, you got to understand that that moon in the north node in Gemini is trying to get you to understand, like, this form of communication, or not communicating yourself as much, or not relating the information and knowledge that you have, like, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work in this shit. It's not gonna work right now. That's what the moon in north node in Gemini is getting us to look at right now. How we communicate our ideas on all levels, positively and negatively, and the influences you have dealing with these things is helping you understand which if you've been in a positive or negative spectrum with it. If you haven't been expressing, you know, your ideas, and what familiar Gemini deals with, familiar energy, with familiar knowledge you already accumulated in this lifetime. We also have Moon square Neptune. All right, Moon in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces. Neptune home in Pisces, chilling at home, doing all type of spiritual shit, lighting sage, doing rituals, connecting to ancestors. All right. It's just downloading hella spiritual information. It's cooking up spiritual shit. It's at home. It's in Pisces. It's where it loves to be. Okay. It's reading all its favorite, deal with imagination, fantasy. So it's reading all its favorite comic books, all its favorite, everything. It's pastimes. Neptune and Pisces chilling right now. So, AKA, we want to be comfortable with our dreams and imagination and creativity while Neptune is out there. We want to be utilizing that energy to stimulate it towards our imagination and the things that need some creativity in there. All right, we got to learn. This energy is influencing us to learn to tap in more into our creative source and see how we could pull that shit out into something realistic. All right, but how can we tap in it within though? How can we not be stimulated from something outside of us? That's like a lot of the Neptune and Pisces energy, and with the moon squaring it, all right, in Gemini, we're learning to be able to take some of that wisdom, take some of that imagination and creativity, and see how we could start communicating it differently. All right, Pisces is dealing with that esoteric energy. Gemini is dealing with the more so technical words and facts and information about things. So when these two energies square each other, it's like Gemini got to learn to feel a little bit more, be more subconscious about how it communicates, and understand that that is affect what you communicate might affect how somebody else feel about something. All right, this is what Gemini learned from Pisces, and Pisces got to learn from Gemini to be a little bit more expressive about things from a more logical standpoint, and not always how you may feel or see it from a bigger picture of things. But sometimes things do need to take time to dissect it. All right. So this is what these two learn from each other, but this energy is helping us to react and respond to how we communicate and relate, all right, things dealing with our creativity with Neptune and Pisces. This energy could also have you in a state where like you sizing up, because it's still a square. So this weekend you might have been like really sizing up your imagination, your creativity, all right, seeing that, trying to think about how it's gonna be receptive to others, all right, like, nah, that shit too creative. Or not too creative, but that shit that shit is an illusion. Nah, they want it. Nah, I'm not. I feel like I'm the only person doing that. I gotta like blend in. There's a lot of that energy, So we gotta learn to separate that right now. All right, we gotta learn to get our emotions on the same page where our creative insight is at. Okay, and then we got the moon trine Mercury. So with the moon trine Mercury, Mercury is in Aquarius, moon is in Gemini. So we developing a whole bunch of ideas to see how we could connect, all right, to others in the external realm with Mercury in Aquarius, strategizing how to network, strategizing more so about associations, unconventional ways of communication and relating to others, trying to do things differently, trying to be more detached and separate with the way it thinks about communicating with the way the rest of the world's thinking about it. All right, so moon in Gemini is like, all right, Mercury, send that, let me send that over here. What's them strategies you got? Let me see how I could react and respond to them. But utilizing Gemini energy, okay? So let me see how I could find ways to connect this to my familiar surroundings. Whatever ideas you've been developing, maybe I could call my cousin, Gemini, call my cousin, relate them to my sibling, my friend, and see what they think about it. Maybe we could spark something based off that idea that you just seen from networking and that Aquarius energy over there. You know I fuck with that energy. That's that air shit, but that's fixed air. You know, sometimes I got to change it up. So give me some of them ideas so I could see how I could get flexible with them and start relating them to different people that's already familiar to me, to see if we could create some traction off of that. So this is like the type of influence we've been in right now. A lot of y'all probably been calling some friends this weekend. They're like, yo, you listen to this idea about this, but I know I have. I know I have. You know, so we've been in a real networking, picking up the phone, texting others right now, like, yo, check out this ad, yo, check out this business, yo, look how these people making money right now, yo, you're like, boom, boom, boom. Like, we've been in that energy heavy this weekend with this alignment, moon trine Mercury. So we want to make sure we're utilizing any creative ideas that stem out of that energy. Now, Venus conjunct Pluto, the way we value, the way we're connecting our love, we're starting to feel like we got to do this, we got to do these things differently. We're starting to realize some relationships need expiration dates. This is what I'm saying, like the air is cold right now. The air is very cold right now. All right, we already broke down that Venus and Cap energy. I already told you how we dealing with a lot of air, Earth, Saturn energy, and now we got Venus coming in contact with Pluto. All right, so it's like motherfuckers' relationships is going through transformation right now. All right, Pluto represents, you know, trauma, abuse, deep desire, transformation. Okay, all of them things that I just named is what influences the transformation. When you're that deep and passionate about something, or have a deep desire about something, that's an intense energy that may not align where everybody's around you, and it's going to cause some transformation. So, yeah, with Venus transit in Pluto, is like right now the things that you've been valuing, that's been fucking up your schedule, that's been messing up things that you trying to tend to for business and stability or a sense of organization, or what you're trying to build and work on, aka Capricorn. Like with Venus coming in contact with Pluto right now, if you haven't been valuing these responsibilities dealing with these things, you're gonna manifest a situation with Venus and Venus transiting Pluto that's gonna be turbulent. It's gonna be a big relationship argument. It's gonna be you getting fired from a job because you wasn't valuing the time management, like this type of energy. That type of energy. So right now we want to be in a state of making sure we're valuing things in a state of understanding. This is what I'm supposed to be valuing for my responsibilities, for this Capricorn energy, this reality of my relationships or forms of stability to grow, or this is what needs an expiration date. This is what I need to put on the expiration date, or it's expired, and I need to make sure I take care of this thing that I so-called value, love, or I'm attached to, or gives me some sense of pleasure, makes me feel good, person, place, or thing, and me not noticing that, like, that time is up, that situation is up. Like, understand Pluto about to transform it if you can't do it yourself. And we don't like that. So, that's what Venus got going on over there. Now, yeah. Now, let's get into Venus sextile Neptune, though. Alright, so with Venus sextile Neptune, right now we in a state of truly trying to connect to our dreams. We're feeling like, alright, as much restriction or patience we're dealing with right now is as much that we're being stimulated by certain energies that's helping us deal with this at the same time. And this type of alignment is helping us tap into more of a creative source. This type of alignment right now, you know, people are being really we're in a state of really wanting to connect to the things that we creatively into, and we're really throwing fits if we can't do it. Like, if your mom calling you to go downstairs and do something while you trying to write this song, or like that's blowing yours right now. If your partner doing this and that and the third, when you trying to creatively connect to that, like y'all could get into a whole situation with this right now, because we see the opportunity. We're feeling like we can value our imagination some more, all right, and implement that into what we're doing right now. It's like right now, for people that's feeling a little stagnant with some of the things that they're doing, sometimes just jumping into a creative activity or something that you know, anything dealing with music, art, or what your form of creativity may be, may help you just to stimulate shit and get shit back together sometimes. And this is the type of energy a lot of us is feeling, wanting to connect. Venus wants to connect and wants to relate and wants to love and wants to support, and we want to do all of that towards our imagination, Neptune and Pisces. And that's going to help us create opportunities to see, like right now, this is also helping us to see creative ways to do things in our relationships as well, because Venus is going to implement relationships and how we relate to others. So Neptune's going to have some more compassion. With Venus going through transformations in Pluto right now, it's like things are expiring, but we're trying to do it in the nicest, most compassionate, most wisest, bigger perspective way. We trying to make this person really understand right now, like, yo, this is just part of my spiritual path. I'm sorry, like, I just know this relationship ain't it. That's what type of, like, with the combination of these energies, that's what Venus is going through right now. She's getting transformed, but she's feeling like she got to still be more compassionate and, you know, value the other parties that's influencing the transformation she's going through. Okay, now and yeah, everybody in Aquarius is squaring Mars and Uranus. So Sun, motherfucking your Saturn, Jupiter, they all squaring Uranus and Mars. So we got Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn. You know, Sun trying to take action, all the knowledge and wisdom. Jupiter is pouring out about how to connect to others and network and build a reality and associate itself. And then we got Saturn is kind of being like, you know, being mad strict about it, making sure the Sun and Jupiter is doing things in a timely manner. It's like, Jupiter, that better be the right wisdom. I ain't trying to like take this. We put in all this time into building this new reality. I ain't trying to like come back because we ain't build it right. We wasn't using the right tools on stage 2. Like, make sure that wisdom right. And Sun, hurry your ass up. All right. Let me not say hurry your ass up, because Saturn deal with time. So Sun, slow your ass down, moving a degree every day and shit. But yeah, it's just that we got them type of energies. They in Aquarius trying to figure out how to build this new reality. And then we got Mars and Uranus diving headfirst, transforming, all type of shit, dealing with career and security, and Mars just throwing fits. And so now the Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn, they got to figure it out right now how to everything that they dealing with, learning and taking action and building within the external realm, dealing with different forms of communication, networking, associating with others. Like, they got to find a way to help out Mars and Uranus going through all types of transformations and fight. Like, Mars and like Uranus and Mars ain't no easy energies. They're intense. So with both of them in Taurus right now, it's like things that are secure to people ain't secure. People are going to continue to lose their jobs right now, not believing in themselves. The forms of security is being snatched and transformed. What do y'all think? Like, listen, man. The world's transforming. You ain't got to be into spirituality to understand that. All right? So, yeah, we got our wisdom got to kick in right now and try to figure out how Mars and Uranus could get some help with the transformation and everything they're fighting for and security over there. And at the same time, Mars and Uranus is looking at what they're fighting for, aka how they're dealing with placing passion and their individuality and uniqueness into their garden, into what they're growing. How is us working on that helping out Sun and Jupiter and Saturn, how they're building a new reality? AKA what we working on right now has to be things that are able to be associated, communicated. We have to make sure that we're not just being so passionate about starting things that we're not doing it as well in a patient Saturn, in a wise way, utilizing what we already know. All right, Jupiter and the Sun, finding ways to take action and communicating it. All right, like those are the energies that got to get boiled in a pot together so they can all learn from each other. All right, so these are the energies like we dealing with right now to start the week. So let's get into it. So we got on Monday we got Sun in Aquarius is gonna sextile Chiron in Aries. So with Chiron in Aries, we real passionate about the things that we done gave birth to last year when Mars was in Aries, the new pursuits that we started or whatnot, or we just we was in a state of feeling like we got to implement a new way of expressing ourselves in some type of shape or form. So with the Sun squaring Chiron in Aries was still making us understand how to do these things in an according way. Okay, Chiron is going to represent mistakes, all right, errors. So we're still experiencing these things when it comes to our passions, when it comes to things that we're with Chiron and Aries, with things that we're trying to be personally assertive on, individually assertive on. We're dealing with little mistakes and errors here still. But with the Sun sextiling this energy in Aquarius, we're gonna see new ways of how to deal with these mistakes with our passions. A lot of these ways could come from how we see other people deal with these mistakes, because the Sun is in Aquarius. Aquarius deal with air. All right, so it may be forms as things you see on social media, things that's communicated to you, or things that you see that other people are dealing with to help you understand. Like, oh, that's why I made that mistake with one of my passions. Oh, that's why. Okay, all right. Let me not. I see how that person stumbled and fall. Like, let me make sure I'm good with my passion. So it's that type of energy. So look out for these things with Sun in Aquarius sextile Chiron. This could manifest support. This also could manifest support relationships, or there may be something that you've been struggling with that you're passionate about, and you may just right now manifest somebody you don't know. All right, or just a relationship that you already have, and somebody's enlightening you on something to deal with that right now. Okay, and then we're gonna have the Moon trine Mercury before it enters Cancer. Okay, so we got Mercury in Aquarius. Matter of fact, it's already trine in Mercury. So with that last aspect, is gonna move into Cancer tomorrow. All right, so with the Moon moving into Cancer, is home. It's where it loves to be. Cancer is dealing with the family environment. All right, it's dealing with that kitchen, cooking up a good meal, solitude, privacy, catering to your own emotions, seeing how you feel about things. All this goddamn work and structure and reality restrictions and time and all this motherfucking shit going on. With the Moon in Cancer, is like, whew, the emotional well-being gets to exhale. So we get to have the influence to want to react and respond to things that we care about, situations in the home, being able to deal with certain things that help us feel more at home. All right, whatever that may be in the house you have Cancer in. But the Moon in Cancer is always a great time to reset with your emotional well-being. All right, to be able to see how you feel about the spiritual travels you've been through, being able to react and respond to things that's accumulated from these things. Okay, so this is the type of energy we dealing with the moon moving into Cancer this week. We getting some emotional support up in that area, okay, with everything we dealing with. Then moving on to Tuesday, ain't got nothing really going on Tuesday. On Wednesday, January 27th, we're gonna have the moon opposing Pluto in Capricorn, okay, and the moon is gonna move into Leo. All right, it's gonna hit its peak. It's gonna hit its peak on Thursday, but when the moon opposes Pluto, the moon's gonna be in Cancer, so we're gonna be reacting and responding to things in the family, home environment, situation, and whatnot. Things that make us feel more at home. We're gonna want to more likely, connect to our forms of privacy, deal with our private space, deal with our bedroom. Okay, reset these things. But it's going to cause an opposition angle with Pluto and Capricorn. So we're going to have to learn that, okay, it's cool to react and respond to what makes us comfortable, but we still have to understand how to connect our emotion to the things that need to be transformed within our responsibilities. All right. What Pluto and Capricorn, that energy is all about transformation with how you broadcast yourself, your social status, career, your forms of foundation. All right. How are you transforming these things? So it's like, it's not about these things happening to us. It's about understanding how we can use these energies. So if we know Pluto and Capricorn dealing with transformation this whole year and a half, you know you wanted to be using that energy to transform your social status, transform how you broadcast yourself to the world, transform how you use your resources to build something, how you get into new business endeavors. It's cardinal energy. All right. So it's like Pluto's been trying to influence you to transform that. Pluto been trying to influence you in all different type of shapes and forms for you to see what type of resources and tools and ideas that you have that you could set a long-term intention on and start using to build this new form of social status or this reality. So this energy, we've been experiencing this before this start of the COVID and everything, and with all the transformation going on in the world, we're still in a state of being able to put some finishing touches on how we're transforming things, dealing with how we're presenting ourselves to the world. And with the moon opposing Pluto, we're gonna have to learn to react to these things with some emotional intent, okay, to really feel like to align our emotion with us understanding that we are the ones that have to take authority for how we're seen and broadcasted to the world and presented. Like, dude, nobody else could work on that for us. And the moon in Cancer is strong when it's dealing with emotional intent. So we're gonna really don't let this energy. Pluto could cause some frustration here. So with it being opposing, even though the moon is in Cancer, with it being opposing in Capricorn, this may manifest a situation in your life right now, or maybe a responsibility that you're dealing with, that you created for career or business, or a heavy thought that you have about career and business is going to clash right now with the things that make you comfortable. So you're going to be trying to get comfortable with the moon in Cancer. You're going to be trying to get comfortable in your private space or whatnot, but the responsibilities in Cancer, them things that you done set intentions on with Cancer that you was passionate about transforming with forms of career, with your surroundings and forms of stability, them things going to be knocking on the door. Like, don't forget about us, moon in Cancer. Don't get too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable. We got work to do. So it's that type of energy. And that can manifest from all people, places, and things. Your baby mama telling you, get off your ass, stop being too comfortable, because we got to work on that, boom, boom, boom. Your teacher, your mentor, your child, it manifests in all different types of ways. So that's going to be Wednesday. But we're also going to have the moon moving into Leo. All right. We're going to have the moon moving into Leo. And it's going to peak on Thursday. So it's gonna peak on Thursday, but with the moon moving into Leo, when we talk about the full moon in Leo, all right, for the most part, with the moon in Leo period, we're in a state of reacting and responding to our forms of creativity, our artistic endeavors, our creative artistic endeavors, all forms of entertainment that we've accumulated and paid attention to in this lifetime and have aligned with, all right, that stimulate us on a creative level. All right, paying attention to how we deal with anything that we are creating or trying to create, bring life to. All right, and it's dealing with expression. It's a fire energy. So also react and respond in different ways to push this out to the world, gain some light for it, connect it to others, enlighten others, giving you awareness to others based off of a creative source. So not only is this what we reacting and responding to, but the moon is going to be full. When the moon's up, when the moon is full, the vibration of the world is at the tippy top, all right? And we don't want to overdo it. We don't want to put a lot of emotion into that energy. This is going to cause a catastrophic moment. This could cause a transformative moment. So we want to understand that this is a state of not wanting to set new intentions and get into a whole bunch of new endeavors and utilize, put new energies and new rituals for these things. We want to understand this is a time to make sure that we can get rid of what's not serving what we've been working on since the new moon previous to this full moon. All right, so it's like when it comes to forms of creativity, when it comes to how you deal with having fun entertainment, like this weekend, I wouldn't really say this is a time to overindulge into any of that energy. It's not a time to overindulge into any energy to start the pre-weekend, I guess Thursday, leading into Friday, even though the weekend is going to be more so influenced by a Virgo moon transit. But yeah, man, just full moon times, we don't want to overdo it. So when it comes to going out your way to be seen or have your form of expression being seen, it has to be at a very pushed out with a very wise temperament, okay? And don't allow how somebody else is expressing themselves to you to rile you up right now, especially if you got fire energies and air energies. Okay, you got heavy fire and air placements. This is not a time to get your form of logic pushed out and be seen, okay? Or have your expression be seen, or to try to feel like you got to fight for how people are viewing you right now. Like, be cool, calm, and collected with these energies, but do see how your forms of creativity are supporting the sun in Aquarius. Full moons, the sun and the moon are opposite, okay? So we got the moon in Aquarius and we got the sun in we got the moon in Leo and the sun in Aquarius. So with the sun in Aquarius, we're paying attention to this season on how to be more realistic and practical about how we relate ourselves to the external realm, how we could embrace different ways of doing these things, all right? How we could get detached from relationships that ain't got no substance, that ain't helping us work on nothing, all right? That's mundane. That's not helping us tap into anything that we know is a subconscious, that helping us tap into any of our subconscious influences about things in our spiritual paths or dealing with our creative gifts and aspirations. So that's what the sun got us paying attention to all this season. But with the full moon time, it's time to see how your creativity supports that, but not overdoing expressing that or connecting that right now at the moment, okay? We want to always make sure on the full moons we're seeing how we could get the moon energy and the sun energy on the same page, because it's the opposites attract, but for it to be a healthy clash when they attract is making sure they have something to support each other and give each other. And what Leo has to give Aquarius is creativity. What Leo has to give to Aquarius is lighting Aquarius up to see how to express itself and understand how it could be seen for expressing itself, okay? How it could be seen or be able to connect to others if it pushes out its creativity and individuality some more. So what Aquarius has learned from Leos, all right? How to embrace their creative ways of pushing out their individuality and dealing with getting seen some more, dealing with some attention some more. Aquarius is teaching Leo, all right? Aquarius is teaching Leo how to be more realistic and strategical about how to use their creativity, not just to be creatively expressing themselves for nothing. All right, not to just be utilizing their gifts, talents, and not having nothing to build off of it, or at least making sure that you're around people who's doing the same shit. Make sure you're associating yourself with your creativity wisely. So these like the energies that we're gonna be influenced to get aligned with. But when it comes to the house that you have the full moon transiting, I'm gonna be either going live on YouTube. Really I've been saving my live streams for my Patreon, so y'all want to check that out fairly. But for the most part, I'm gonna be uploading energies in some type of shape or form, breaking down the full moon transit in your houses to understand what area of life you got to make some space in, you got to detach from, you got to see what's not serving you in that area. All right, family. And then we got, so that's Wednesday, boom. Thursday, moon is gonna be in Leo, all right. And we're gonna have them energies, all right. And then when we get into Friday, which is 29th, all right, the moon is gonna be opposite Mercury. So we got Mercury in Aquarius. We got all them energies in Aquarius. So during the full moon transit, not only is the moon going to be opposite the sun, it's going to be opposite Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury during that transit. So we're going to have to learn to be able to see how our creativity plays a part in how we're dealing with this new reality. So yeah, you may have a whole strategic plan, but you might just be neglecting the very creative gifts and talents, or different ways of expressing your, like, this is a time for you to truly understand that you expressing yourself in a certain way is how you express yourself. All right, you don't have to try to get aligned with how everybody else is doing these things. Like, this is what this full moon about to help us to understand. How do you pull that creative source out of yourself that all Leos know that they have, and be able to associate and connect that and understand that everybody has their own way of expressing themselves, but you got to trust that that people gonna respect that you expressing yourself the way you are, because you being yourself. And we all have our creative ways of doing this. We all have creative things that we're into that stimulate us on a creative level. We all have a fifth house. We all got Leo somewhere. And those ain't the only placements dealing with creativity in our natal chart. But for the most part, we're in a state of truly understanding how we could connect this to the world in a realistic way. So this is going to be a critical period during the Aquarius season. And then, you know, for the weekend, we're going to have the moon entering Virgo. All right. So with these energies, the full moon is going to be the transit where we release and detach. But then once that energy transits into Virgo, we get right back into reacting to being more strategical, more responsibility based, seeing how to connect to our responsibilities, seeing what to tidy up, back to seeing the detail of what we just detached from, to make sure, all right, we detached from that for a reason. We detached everything we was just giving that light or attention to Leo, okay? And now this is back to the program, back to how we seen the detail, to the blueprint, okay? Back to how we routining and scheduling these things. So we're gonna be in a real with the sun in Aquarius, moon in Virgo, this is gonna be a real tedious time amongst seeing the detail to our relationships and seeing how we could schedule and organize and routine things that we're doing with others this weekend. All right, so family, these are the energies that we dealing with for the BOROSCOPE for January 24th through the 30th. All right, major events, full moon in Leo. We're gonna get into that energy later on in the week when we get there. All right, y'all go ahead and check out my site to book a consultation or reading. Y'all go ahead and check out my Patreon. All right, we on the road to 100 Patreon, so we're gonna see how quick we could get there. We're doing a whole bunch of dope things on that platform. All right, family, but until next time, peace.